Hello, this is Japanese craft beer reviews, and I'm going to tell you about a beer today that you may not have heard of. I certainly hadn't seen it before, and it's from a brewery which has been exporting to Japan in the last year or so, which is called Volfas Engleman, and the beer we're going to look at is this one. It's called Volfas Engleman Hoptimist. And first, about the brewery. Volfas Engelman is the second largest brewery in the country of Lithuania. And Lithuania is the southernmost of the Baltic states, including Estonia and Latvia and Lithuania. It was under Russian control for about 500 years, and they became completely independent in 1990, when the Soviet Union, after the Soviet Union collapsed. They're located in Kaunas, Lithuania, and they're named for the founders, the two founders of the brewery. In 1894, a man named Volfas bought Mr. Engelman's brewery, and it became Volfas Engelman. And it has kind of a complicated history now. In 1997, Pilsner Urquell bought 51% of the company. In 1999, Pilsner Urquell sold themselves to Alus, which is Estonian brewery. And stay with me, Alus is owned by Olvi, which is a very large brewery in Finland. So it is part of Olvi now. And they make a wide variety of drinks: beer, cider, energy drinks, and kvass, which is a rye-based, very low alcohol rye-based beer made in the Baltic states and in Scandinavia. Includes berries and juniper and things like that. Okay, so on Rate Beer, 91 beers are listed for this brewery. On Untapped, 284, which seems a bit extreme. I think there are probably some duplicates. In fact, for this one, I'll tell you about that in a second. Okay, so enough about Volfas Engelman, this large brewery in Lithuania. Let's talk about this beer. This is a 500 milliliter can. It is 25 international bittering units and 5.5%. What style is it? Well, Rate Beer, this current one is not listed. It was renamed and formerly named Alus Hoppy Lager, as you can see right down here. And under that, on Rate Beer, there were only 4 ratings, and the average was 3.22 out of 5. Untapped, as Alus had 19 ratings at 3.46, and then as Hoptimist, 39 ratings, 3.36. So the range is Rate Beer's 3.22 out to Untapped's 3.46. So generally in the lower threes. And Untapped lists it as an alt beer. Beer Advocate lists it as an India Pale Lager. And Rate Beer as a hoppy lager, so maybe a little bit of confusion about this beer. But interesting name. Of course, they're playing with the word optimist here and hops. And I don't know, look at this fellow here. I guess if you could be optimistic in his condition, then anything's possible. He doesn't look in the best of shape, but he does have some flowers around him, so I guess he got that going for him. A classical statue here, which has been cut right through the head. And of course, optimism is a philosophical stance. The idea that this world is the best world of all possible worlds. And of course, this head is not the best possible of all heads, but in any case, at least he's holding a can of beer inside. So shall we give him a go? Yeah. So somebody said, what's the opposite of optimism? And someone will say, communism. Which reminds me of a joke we used to tell a long time ago, is In communism, man exploits man. In capitalism, it's vice versa. So there you go. And Volfas Engleman also on their beers, they have something very nice. They got a little foil cap here, which keeps the beer completely clean and dust free. You know, sometimes you go to a place and there'll be dust around the ring, and yeah, so that's nice. So let's give this one a go. This costs 275 yen, not a bad price for 500 millis, which would be probably around $1.80 US. It's hard to tell. The yen is kind of tanking against the dollar these days. Okay. Well, it is kind of a dark, nearly reddish brown color with some kind of a sort of sparkly little bubbles floating up from the bottom. And about almost 2 fingers of sort of frothy, kind of spongy, sort of off-white foam. Okay. Right away, it definitely is malty. The ingredients include, let me find the English here, if I can. I'll just go to the Japanese label here. The ingredients include malt and hops. Okay, that's all. Quite malty. I'm detecting something like maybe Vienna malt. Not sure, but it's almost got kind of an amber character to it, like a Vienna lager. Malty hop character is not very apparent here. Very mild, kind of floral. Definitely malty though. Okay, the initial flavor is also malty, thin, a bit sugary. It kind of picks up in mid-palate, gets a bit sweet, fades out with some mild, very mild hop bitterness. Yeah, this is mild and lightly unsatisfying. Yeah, I wish it wasn't in such a big can, but I probably, in any case, I probably won't drink all of it here. So, is this the best beer of all possible beers? No, it's not. In fact, for its style, it's probably not the best either. And I don't know how it would fare on rate beer by style, but I couldn't rate this terribly highly. Maybe 3.0, if that. Yeah, very watery, not very watery, but watery. Some decent maltiness, but it fades fast. A very much one-dimensional beer. There are no flavor changes throughout the palate whatsoever. Yeah, so what you get here is, what you get at the beginning is what you get at the end. So. Yeah, drinkable, but barely. Okay, so once again, this is Volfas Engleman Hoptimist, an alt beer if you follow Untapped, a hoppy lager if you follow rate beer, an IPL, IPL. Beer Advocate calls it an IPL, Untapped and alt beer. Get yourself a can and you decide, okay? All right, and take care of yourself. Don't let this happen to you. All right, bye-bye.